Hey guys, Level Cap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. There's been a ton of controversy surrounding Call of Duty's implementation of microtransactions for years now. Dedicated players have grown tired of loot boxes that offer pay-to-win items. The constant barrage of cosmetic items that don't fit the themes or styles of the game is also problematic. Thankfully, it seems like Fortnite's success has finally convinced Activision to drop loot boxes altogether for Modern Warfare. Just a week before the game officially launches, Activision have confirmed all future maps and modes will be released for free. There will also be no loot boxes or a season pass. Instead, they've opted for a cosmetic-only battle pass system. Like most other games with battle passes, Modern Warfare's will feature a free and paid tier. According to the announcement, anything that impacts gameplay will be unlocked through gameplay. The Battle Pass will launch later this year after the game itself launches next Friday. At launch, cross-play between all platforms will be supported. Post-launch content will roll out as seasonal updates, adding new maps, modes, weapons, cosmetics, and Battle Pass rewards. As for pricing, nothing has been confirmed. The game itself is currently available for the usual $60. There's also the $80 and $100 editions of the game, each with their own set of in-game cosmetics and Call of Duty points, Modern Warfare's in-game currency. A lot is riding on the success of Modern Warfare. It's the first Call of Duty title to compete with Battlefield's large-scale combat modes directly. It's the first title in the franchise to forego a season pass or paid expansion content. And its gameplay is a massive return to the franchise's roots. There's also no special abilities, power-ups, or classes. It feels like a proper modernized version of the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, which is by design. A free Battle Royale mode launching early next year is all but confirmed for Modern Warfare. It's shaping up to be the biggest Call of Duty game ever, with the recent release of COD Mobile surpassing 100 million players. The franchise has never been more of a household name. Riot Games are also looking to go big in the competitive FPS market with their recently announced Project A. It's a character-based tactical shooter set in a near-future version of Earth. The limited footage we have so far makes it look like a hybrid of CSGO and Overwatch. A prominent map maker for CSGO, Volcano, has been working with Riot to develop Project A for the past few years. Given that his CSGO map Cache is widely regarded as one of the game's defining competitive maps, it's likely Project A will feature some strong map design. All that said, there is a bit of an elephant in the room. Riot Games are 100% owned by Tencent, one of the Chinese mega corporations at the center of several recent controversies in the gaming world. Project A was announced alongside 7 other new games Riot are working on, including a competitive digital card game and a fighting game. It's clear Riot, and by association Tencent and China, are trying to make even more headway in gaming. Tencent are already the world's largest game publisher, so there's no telling how much bigger they can get. Aside from League of Legends, they don't have the same dominance in the esports scene as other major publishers do. Next to mobile, esports is one of the fastest growing segments of the gaming market. Coming out with games targeted at FPS, fighting, and card games genres gives them a foothold in every major esports genre there is. Riot could become one company that represents the most popular esports title in just about every category of games. No one company has pulled that off to date. Obviously, it's too early to tell what Riot will achieve. If they do become the face of esports gaming, it will be a drastic shift for the entire game industry and a huge leg up for the Chinese companies. Speaking of China, Blizzard have banned more Hearthstone players following their show of solidarity with the people of Hong Kong and the recently banned Hearthstone Grandmaster Blitzchung. 3 American university students were banned from competing events for 6 months for holding a Free Hong Kong Boycott Blizz sign at the Hearthstone Collegiate Championship. Initially, the players' actions went unpunished. Blizzard's failure to treat American players as poorly as they did Blitzchung, who is from Hong Kong, was viewed as a double standard and unfair to Blitzchung. The players received their bans later in the week and we're stunned to not get them earlier. Since Blitzchung's ban and the outcry following it hit social media, Blizzard have reduced his ban from 1 year to 6 months. They also returned his winnings from the recent Hearthstone Grandmasters tournament, which roughly amounted to $10,000. Reducing Blitzchung's ban didn't do much to help Blizzard's public image though. Their statement announcing the reduced penalties reads a lot like doublespeak. It says their relationship with China didn't affect their decision and that they stand by their company's slogan of "Every voice matters." But the official Chinese Hearthstone Weibo account literally apologized directly to the country of China for Blitzchung's actions. Blizzard have started canceling public events for their games following the mass outcry, including the official event for Overwatch's launch on the Nintendo Switch. PUBG's latest update adds a new mechanic that could potentially be very interesting. Players can now throw loot to teammates. In pretty much every battle royale game, sharing loot means either calling it out for other players to grab or dropping it on the ground so other players can pick it up. PUBG's new system lets players request specific loot items like health kits or ammo, and their teammate can hit one button to toss it to them automatically. Instead of landing on the ground, it goes directly to the receiving player's inventory. On paper, the mechanic probably doesn't sound all that exciting, but for high-level players, this could be a significant addition to the game. The update also adds some other things of note. The spawn rate for loot on Miramar has been rebalanced. Assault rifles, DMRs, and scopes will be more common now. The Winchester 94 lever action rifle gets a built-in 2.7 times scope and will be more common. Buildings throughout Miramar are far less cluttered with random items as well. Vending machines are now available across Miramar that dispense energy drinks and painkillers. As good as all these additions sound, things are sounding a little less sunny for PUBG's esports scene. PUBG's esports teams have been reportedly told their team branding, in-game cosmetic items for the upcoming global championship have all been scrapped. They cited technical issues with the development process and are being replaced with items like 12 generic PUBG PGC skins. 25% of sales revenue generated by the branded skins was going directly to the teams. The replacement items will 100% fund the tournament's prize pool. PUBG Corp have implemented a pick'em system that players can spend money on in-game similar to CSGO's. Some revenue from the pick'em system will go to the teams. Major esports organizations like Cloud9, Optic, and Team Vitality all dropped their PUBG teams several months ago. With the slowly declining popularity and now the loss of the revenue stream from custom-made cosmetic items, there's less and less incentive for players and organizations to pursue PUBG as an esports game. Red Dead Redemption 2's first PC trailer is here, and it looks phenomenal. The trailer is available on Rockstar's YouTube channel in full 4K 60 FPS. Tech outlets like Digital Foundry are sure to compare the new footage to existing console footage ASAP. Even without direct comparison, it's clear that the PC version of Red Dead Redemption 2 is shaping up to be the definitive one. Due to copyright claim issues with Rockstar trailers, I can only show you stills pulled from the trailer. Be sure to check it out, linked in the description below to view it in its full glory. Fortnite Chapter 2 took the gaming world by storm this week by taking the game offline for over a day, then launching a new map in Battle Pass. The new map borrows the look and feel of the original one with some new buildings and areas to explore. Gameplay-wise, the game has been stripped down to the essential weapons and mechanics. Much of the crazier stuff has been removed from the game to reboot the Fortnite experience. I did a full video covering the Chapter 2's launch, so be sure to check that out. Destiny 2 now has a $20 character boost item. It automatically adds level 900 weapons and armor to your boosted character's inventory. It's only available for purchase to players that have at least one level 900 character. Given all players now start at 750 and hit at least 850 by completing the Shadowkeep expansion, it's likely this booster will only save dedicated players an hour or two. Apex Legends' newest weapon, the charge rifle, has gotten a minor nerf. The gun could effectively two-shot players with full health and shields, even from very far away. It was a bit overpowered in the hands of an accurate player. Respawn have increased the amount of ammo consumed per shot and have added fall off to the damage over range. There are no official numbers for this nerf, so you'll just have to figure out how big it is by playing the game. Fallout 76's biggest content update, the Wastelanders expansion, has been delayed to 2020. The update adds human NPCs to 76's world and is considered by pretty much everyone to be a substantial overhaul to the game. At launch, Bethesda said the game excluded human NPCs because players were supposed to fulfill that role, but it ultimately left the world feeling pretty empty and dead in a not-so-Fallout kind of way. Wastelanders will now launch in the first quarter of next year. In the meantime, Bethesda are adding private servers to the game, reworking public events for the better, and unfortunately looking to add more non-cosmetic microtransactions. Zombie Army 4 Dead War finally has a release date. The co-op zombie shooter from Sniper Elite's developers launches February 4th, 2020 on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC. The Zombie Army games blend Sniper Elite's trademark slow-mo gunplay with the Left 4 Dead mechanics, co-op, and some more run-and-gun weapon options. They're all solid games to spend an evening running through with your friends, especially if killing Nazi zombies is your thing. All three games so far have been set during World War II. Zombie Army 4 is no exception. It's set in an alternate history version of Europe in 1946. In our final story this week, retro gaming hardware company ANALOUGE have announced arguably their most exciting device yet. Called the Analog Pocket, it's a $200 handheld gaming system that plays any Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advanced game. With the proper adapters, it's likely that the Pocket will run even more games. It already boasts support for Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and more. Some key selling points are HDMI output, a high-resolution 3.5-inch modern LCD, micro SD support for 8-bit musicians to transfer content, and Bluetooth controller support. Software emulation, like what you typically see on PC, is not directly supported on the Pocket. So while it's likely homebrew updates for the device will let you run ROMs on it with the micro SD card slot, don't expect Analog to support that kind of functionality. In simple terms, they're using modern hardware to run compatible games natively, so it's unclear if it even has the processing power to emulate games. This could limit its appeal as the emulation community is mostly built on support for ROMs. Retro game-compatible hardware with modern components is a smaller niche, but still a large section of the retro gaming fandom. The Pocket launches in 2020 and will probably be a massive success given Analog's past products, which are widely regarded as some of the best retro gaming peripherals. And that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which stories you thought were the most interesting, or if there's anything of substance that you think we might have missed, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.